Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Shivoham. Now, the shloka was Naram Varshiyansam Nayanavirasam Narmasujadam Tava Panga Loke Patitam Anudhavanti Shatashaha Galat Vedi Bandha Kuchikalasha Vistastasachaya Athat Trutyat Kancho Rigalita Dukula Yuvataya. Let me first translate it for you, which is probably most of you would be having because you are already referring to some or the other book. So verbatim translation, let us understand. Naram means man. Okay. Varshiyansham means the one who has become old. Varshiyansham means many years of life and living has worn out the physicality and the prana Shakti of that person. Nayana Virasam, which means eyes are dried, right? This is also one of the symptom of old age. Eyes are dried, dry eyes. Nayana Virasam, or in other sense, eyes are unable to appreciate rasa in the vision, life. They don't appreciate it anymore, which means you have moved away from the rasa of eyes. Another way to look at it is that eyes have become incapable of grasping the vision, grasping the rupa. So the rasa of eye is rupa. The taste of eyes is rupa. So the rupa is no more appreciated well. So weak eyesight, it can also be taken as that. Narmasu jadam. Narmasu jadam means this is particularly an indication of lost youthfulness. Shankracharya is using erotic imagery only to describe a person who is low in prana, who lacks energy, who lacks enthusiasm. So what is general understanding or description of a youthful person? That he would be young, which means the man would not have lived through lot many years. That means he is young enough, able to appreciate beauty, and able to, when we say Nayana Virasam, it also means all the senses. Narmasu Jadam is equivalent to that capacity of engagement in kama, which is of course physical conjugation, which is again a way to say that a person is youthful yet. This is the condition of the man. Tava apanga loke patitam. Upon such a man, when Devi puts a side glance, which is called just kripadrashti, kataksha kripadrashti, not even fully looking at. Sometimes you look at people only to just notice who has come, only sideways look and then move on. So that just a sideway look Kripa Kataksha of sideway look. That means it's only a little grace, minuscule grace of Devi. When such grace falls upon, Anudhavanti Satasha. What happens then? It says, this shloka says, and through this Shankracharya is saying, that upon such a man, the worldly objects of bhoga, which also includes, for that matter, for a young man, the bhoga is young woman. So, just a simile is being put up here, that for such a man whom upon the grace of Devi has fallen, towards him, satashah patitam satashah anudhavanti. Thousands of maidens, thousands of girls, thousands of young women run towards him. And in which condition they run towards such a man? Galat veni bandha. You see, it is said that when you forget your sense of body, right, and when you run towards a thing, you even forget how your clothes are, how your hairdo is, if it is lost in running, if it is properly set. No. Galat veni bandha. Kuch kalasha vistrasta sichaya. Where their bosoms are covered or not. They forget even that. That means they fully get attracted to such a man to such an extent. Thousands of them, hundreds of them run after such a man. Kuch kalasha vistrasta sichaya, which simply means that even they are not aware whether their breasts are covered or not. Okay. Hathat trutyat kancho. Hathat trutyat kancho vigalit dukula yuvataya. Even their robes are slipping down. They don't care. Now this imagery is quite erotic. Yet it is not to take it in its verbatim sense. Why? Because Shankara is not describing Devi, or probably not saying that a person should look forward to Devi's grace for such a material, such a sensual target in mind. Right? It should not be. And therefore, this meaning can be outrightly discarded. Yet, let us understand that is also true. Okay? That is also true. The magnetism of such a person upon whom grace of Devi has fallen, irrespective of the gender, you will find that the opposites feel a lot of attraction towards it. It's only an indicator that the person is vibrant in his energy. Right? You see? Vibrant in energy. You see, when Shankara is describing Devi, he is describing Devi in her glorious form as the idol of beauty. You see? So for a man, that beauty, that idol has a perfect shape, has some features, and that attraction is described in the form. You see, when he is describing the form, he is not describing actually the form of Devi. He is only setting up a kind of background where for ordinary people, they should understand how attractive Devi is. That means how you feel internally, how much attraction, how much pull that Devi has once you have come in the influence circle or influence zone of that Shakti. That's the only way. So it's the only way to say that Devi is so beautiful, right? That she has so big breasts, she has a very lean, waist and all that. Only to describe that for a man, such is an attraction. So for Jiva, when man is being said here, please always remember we are talking of 36 tattvas, where the 25th tattva is Purusha. In a way, it's a male depiction of Jiva. And that is why Devi has been described like that. So every Jiva, every Purusha, whether it is operating through a man's body or a woman's body, would find that attraction in Devi, would feel attracted to that Devi. And someone needs to show how to at least enter her palace. You see, how to even get admitted by the guards of that palace. Once you are in, or once you are in even conversation with the guards there of her palace, you will develop that kind of attraction towards her. Sometimes what happens, I'll tell you, and you would recognize it and you can relate to it probably. Suppose you thought there is a Swami in the Himalayas, and you just heard his name and you thought that let me pay a visit to him, thinking that I would get access to that person. Now, when you arrive at that place, of course you have little attraction, little intent. Some intent is there that I must meet him. But when you arrive at gate, you find that many of the gatekeepers are big businessmen whom you know. Okay, they are at the gate guarding her. They're big influential people at the gate itself. Now, whatever little attraction you had about that man, about that Swami, after reaching the gate, it will increase manyfold or not? Tell me. You would anyways want to meet such a man who is guarded by the Ambanis and Adanis and the Bill Gates and whatnot, right or not? This is how people get attracted to Neem Karoli Baba and all that. Steve Jobs follows them. Steve Jobs follows him. Bill Gates follows him and all that. See. So that is the way of the teacher to introduce that Purusha or Jiva to her domain and make them experience her glory, her power, that she is the presiding deity of all those who you think they are all capable. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, Ganpati Bappa Moria, Jai Vishnu, Jai Shri Hari and all that. They are all below her. Okay. So once you look at that, then you feel more and more attraction. And how you describe it in words now? How you describe it in words for the ordinary man? For an ordinary man, the highest attraction is towards a most beautiful, voluptuous woman. And that is how this description is given. For Purusha, which is 25th Tattva, which is Atman, is attracted to her when it comes in contact with the even gatekeepers of that presiding deity. The power is such, the attraction is such, that now you want to meet that Swami anyways. Got it? And how would you describe? Then you say, I would rather die to meet you. This is the phrase. You see? I would rather die to meet you. This is the attraction. Now, for Devi, such is an attraction. And for the sadhaka of the Devi, what is the attraction? It is the same. It is the same. Only thing is that you should come in contact with that person with a little longing, with a little reverence, with a little thirst. And once you are in the sphere of that person, of that sadhaka, you will find that you are naturally attracted to such a person. Whether he is a male or female does not matter. You want to meet that sadhaka. You want to be one with that sadhaka. You want to spend a lot of time with that sadhaka, and whatever your tendencies might be. Because for every person, love expresses in different zones. And as I told you, we are quite animalistic in our demonstration of love. Instinctively so. Instinctively so. You see. And I have shown you sometimes in my talks that what is it that makes us run towards a person and kiss him. Actually, kissing is nothing but symbolic eating. Okay? Means we want to consume that. And if you remember Kabir, what had happened there? When AdyA comes, the Kala Niranjan actually governed him. The same corollary, same thing you need to understand. That you want to eat that person. That's the basic instinct. You see? And this is how a child develops. Give the child anything, whatever goes in mouth. It first goes in mouth. So the first attraction is about eating. And that's the basic animal instinct. Child moves beyond that, and then he does not taste everything like that. But you also have gone past all that, and now you don't do it. But look at it. Whenever you see an innocent child, beautiful face, you want to run and actually eat it. Now it is not allowed. So what you would do? Of course, you would say, "I'll compromise with a kiss." But wherever you have freedom, you really go and eat to some extent. Look at it. So that's what I'm saying. So everyone finds different expression of love. And at different levels, the attraction is expressed differently. Here, Shankracharya is saying that if a jiva, if a purusha, if a nara means purusha, if a soul who has come in contact with Devi's grace becomes so attractive. Now he's again giving a similar scenario, a simile. For that man or that nara or that purusha, thousands of girls. Now girls are again only a way to say how attractive or how much the magnetism of such a person is overpowering. But thousands of girls with not caring whether they are dressed or not, whether their robes are slipping or not, whether their private parts are covered or not, whether their hairdo is intact or not, they run towards that person. What does it mean? It simply means that now Shakti is operating through him. Shakti has become a resident, or you should say the Shakti's grace has fallen upon such a person. Right? This is second level of understanding. Right? Now there are even higher dimensions to it. When we are saying that thousands of maidens, thousands of girls run towards such a person, it is also to be considered as siddhis, as some powers of the accomplishments, what we call siddhis. They are running towards such a person. In one of the chaupai, Kabir says, "Piche piche hari pire kahat Kabir Kabir." Right? Pache pache hari pire kahat Kabir Kabir. Kabir says, a person who has gotten established God or Lord, he doesn't chant Lord's name. Rather, runs or follows that person chanting his name. Pache pache hari phire kahat Kabir Kabir. Now such a person is so blessed that he is not chanting Hari Nam, or he is not chanting the name of Lord. Rather, Lord is chanting the Bhakta's name or devotee's name. And Lord is running behind such a person. Kabir, 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 where are you? You see? The best description I find. Best description. Much better than what Shankaracharya has probably said here. an illiterate man, the one who declares himself as illiterate, Masi kagad chuyo nahi, kalam gahyo nahi hath. Such a person describes this communion of the devotee and the deity, the communion of those. They are not separate. They are not separate. You see? It is said that the God runs after such a person. Now, when God runs after such a person, how to describe that this is going to be your outcome of the Devi's grace upon your life? It says that for such a man, now it is taken as a soul has been taken as man who operates through this body. Naram varshi yansham naramasujadam. Nayanavirasam naramasujadam. Everything is lost. The vitality is lost. Eyes have become dried. The person has faded senses, has no virality left in him. But women are chasing him. This is the description of such a sadhak. And this needs to be experienced rather than just understood. And this experience can come only when you one-pointedly put your awareness on Shakti. Okay. Later on, methods will also be told here. Little bit of methods will also be revealed in Saundarya Lahri. Right? How to focus on that deity, Tripura Sundarii. How to visualize that Tripura Sundarii. In the yantra, you know that what we call yantra Raj, Shri Yantra. How to look at that and how to relate few of the figures which are available there, geometrical figures, to Devi's different parts of body. Right? And why so? Because as a man, you find women attractive. And that is only to describe that the yantra should become your object of attraction. So much so as if you are looking at a beautiful lady. Again, it should not be taken as that I will do it this way. I'll imagine that yantra is now replaced by a lady, by certain triangles and things falling some configuration, representing her parts. No, it's again a representation of the same attraction. With that attraction, with that longing, you should be able to meditate on chakra. Then Devi, the Shakti, will be able to operate through you, transform you. As we know, that if you deny the person who has come for vaccination, if you deny that I don't want to take vaccine, unless the vaccine enters your system, it cannot transform your immune system. Right or not? It has to enter. That means you have to be one. Your whole body at least has to come in contact with that. So much contact that vaccine, that those molecules must enter your being, at least this being, physical being, to be able to work through you. And for a yantra, which is an object outside, which kind of connect would be needed to allow that yantra to seep in and work through you? For that, this imagery, this way of description will be given here. Now, have a look on things which we have studied so far in this Saundarya Lahri. We have studied around 12 shlokas, right? And in the first shloka, it was said, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta. Okay. Now, Shiva is represented in Purusha. Shiva is represented in Purusha, which is now encaged in Kanchukas. Okay. Shiva is a representative of Purusha. It is that Purusha which will later find out through his absorption in the truth that he himself is Shiva. And then this claim would come, Shivoham. Who will declare it? The same Purusha, who is Pashu, as of now, who's bonded as of now. So this Purusha who is engaged in this body, in this Kanchuka. Now let us translate that first shloka for yourself. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitu. Nache Devam Devo Nakhalu Kushala Spanditumam. Atastvam Aradhyam Harihar Virinjadi Virapi Pranantum Stotum Va Kathamapi Punya Prabhavati. Now look at it. Look at your own experience. You are being worshipped, you are being respected, you are being hated, or whatever you are doing, you are capable of doing it only when the Shakti principle is operating in your being, which means you are alive. Nobody wants to keep a dead corpse at home. Even you will not be kept, as much as people may declare that they love you so much. When you become dead, that means the life principle, the Shakti principle moves out. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitu. You will become Shava. And the Shava is Shiva devoid of Shakti. So, first shloka, you should apply it on yourself rather than Shiva. Because the first thing which you say here, you say Shivoham. So Shiva Shaktya Yukto you apply on yourself. Then move on to next, where it is said, Tani yansam pansum tava charana pankeru bhava. Okay. Look at that. Who you are, what you are, what are your capacities, and how you build on your own capacities. Your own capacities are all rooted in your Chit Shakti. You are capable of the Shaktis only because you have been given this Taniyansam, little bit of a speck of Chaitanya Shakti, Chaitana. You build everything based on that Chaitana. Dead people don't create great philosophies. Dead people don't create marvels in this world. Dead people don't create technology in this world. Only live people who have this spark, that speck of Chaitana in them, they build this world. The world has been built. All the technological advances, everything big which is running around. If you compare yourself to be the Brahma of your life, the creator of your life, where from you have gotten all this? You have gotten it from that speck of Chaitanya Shakti. On that Chaitanya Shakti, every Shakti, Jnana, Kshatriya, etc., all is the expansion of that. Yes or no? Only because we are cognizant beings, and that highest cognition is possible in human body, we are capable of these creations. Consider yourself to be in that place where Brahma is kept. You are the creator of your own world. Have you not created this world? You have. Well, what is the basis of it all? You should not forget it. And how this world will come to end. Even that is said. Hara Sankshubdhainam Bhajati Bhasito Dhulandibin. At the end of it, even though you create, even though you try to sustain it, but there is this principle of destruction which definitely comes in way. It does not mean you are capable of creating and it continue to create and the creation is eternal. Look at it. So, are your creations eternal? No. You are Brahma or creator of your own life. You are Brahma or creator of all the luxuries, all the technological developments on this planet. But is this eternal? No. Harah Sankshubdhainam Bhajati Bhasito Dhulanavidim. Everything will fall to dust one day. Upon whose instructions? Again, you must recognize it. It's the same Chit Shakti from where all the three have come. Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra, Ishvara, the controller, the creator, the preserver, and the one who is destroyer. Everything, every principle is working. On whose behest it is happening? Of course, that Parama Shakti which we are talking about. And that Parama Shakti is manifest in all of us. Manifest in all of us. In that little speck which we are. And that speck is of consciousness. We are aware beings. Appreciate this power first. That your awareness is what you are. Go back to Shiva Sutra, Chaitanyam Atma. You are that. And go to other sutras, Udyamo Bhairava. Yeah, you are the Bhairava who is the creator and destroyer and preserver of whatever you are creating. But you recognize that this principle is all rooted in Chaitanya. And that Chit Shakti which is operating through your Chitta is a little speck from her divine feet. Each one of you have created your own personal worlds, have you not? Where from that power has come? That power is of cognition, awareness, consciousness. And that what enables you to create your own personal worlds. But always remember, you can create as Virinchi does. You are all Virinchis of your own life, your own personal universes. But always remember, it is her grace that you are able to create. And it is her rule, her command, that anything you create cannot remain here, for it is not eternal. It will fall to dust when its time comes. Recognize that? Can you make it this way? Next is how this Shakti serves different purposes. Again, avidyanam antastimiramihiradviva nagari jadanam chaitanyastabakamakrandasyati hari daridranam chintamani gunanika janma jaladho nimagnanam dansha muraripuvara hasya bhavati. Again the same thing. If you are not cognizant, you cannot do all this. You see, what do we pray? What do we pray to the Lord, or what do we pray to the God? We say, Paramatma, mujhe sat buddhi do. Give me wisdom which is eternal. Sat buddhi means sat buddhi, buddhi which is eternal. Sat dhan buddhi becomes sat buddhi. Okay. Don't think sat buddhi means buddhi which does not go away when it is required. Intelligence which is with me always, all the time. That is Sat Buddhi. Asat Buddhi is all of us have. We are so intelligent. Most of the times we are intelligent. But what happens? When a situation is different or difficult, a little frustrating, our Buddhi has gone. It is not Sat Buddhi. We thought Sat Buddhi means good Buddhi. So far, what was your interpretation and understanding of Sat Buddhi? Sat Buddhi means, good, auspicious Buddhi. Forget about it. Auspicious or inauspicious. Ravana operated from inauspicious Buddhi, but consistently. The God had to come. It does not require your Buddhi to be operating only on auspicious principles. Even inauspicious principles will get there. Don't worry. But that Buddhi has to be consistent. Okay? Decide about your life. What is your Buddhi? Is it with you all the time? That is what it is said. So that Buddhi is expression of Chit Shakti. Again, a power of cognition. Again, it splits into Aham Idam Bhava. And what? You recognize this is me and how that will affect this. That is that discrimination which emanates from that Chit Shakti, which is a speck of dust from the mother's feet. Its development, its blossoming, or let's say it's a blossoming. We can use the word for our purpose, but it's a degradation in a way, because that Buddhi is applied in the worldly matters. Yes or no? Buddhi is caused by Chit Shakti. So Chit Shakti cannot be captured by Buddhi. And therefore Buddhi is definitely inferior thing. Chaitanyata or Chaitanya, the cognition, power of consciousness is the most valuable thing you possess. Yet when it develops into buddhi, it is still useful, but it has to remain with you forever. That means it should operate forever. It should not leave you. It should not desert you when you need it. Sadbuddhi. And if you have Sadbuddhi, of course that Sadbuddhi is avidyanam antastimiramihiradvivanagari. The Sadbuddhi can illuminate your inner space. It can move you from darkness to light. Asatoma satgamay. Tamasoma jyotirgamay. Who will go? A dead body? Only a person, only this body which is still carrying that spark of Chit Shakti. That person will move from darkness to light. Tamasoma jyotirgamay. Not always possible. Only such a buddhi, jadanam chaitanya stabakamakaranda shruti. If the buddhi is developed, that intelligence is developed, the jada, so-called incapable of perceiving the world as it is, they will become capable of now perception, right and wrong, good or bad, beneficial or not beneficial. That is jadanam chaitanya. The jada, those who are inert, those have very meager activity of chaitanya, or chaitanya means the buddhi itself here. The buddhi will become, the intelligence will flourish, and then it will be able to take you away from the darkness. Daridranam chintamani gunanika jalmanjaladhav. Now you thought that Devi will come and present herself in a most beautiful form, a celestial maiden, and she will become Daridranam Chintamani. No, she is always there with you in the form of your intelligence. Daridranam Chintamani. Whosoever is poor can come out of his poverty or her poverty only by application of buddhi, intelligence. Don't think that by chanting mantras, Devi will present and grant you boons. Devi will give you Shakti of your discrimination, power of discrimination, which is called intelligence, and that power which is Sat, which remains with you forever. And that kind of power will liberate you from your poverty, from your deprivation, from your sufferings also, because nimagnanam daisha muraripuvarahasya bhavati. Who takes you out from your suffering? Only right thinking, only right intelligent decisions take you out from your sufferings and your gloom. Right kind of thought, if you entertain, you come out of it. So the same Shakti we are talking about. Now think about it. Does it not relate with what we are studying now? The shloka 13th. The shloka 13th is saying, such a person who has this power of discrimination all the time available, even if he is old, nayana virasam narma sujadam, even if he is incapable of progeny, impotent also, let us say, but such a person is worshipped. Do you not worship such a person? I'll tell you one example. One latest example is Stephen Hawking. Look at him. Look at his life. What was operating through him? Only his buddhi. And with that spark itself, he was a revered person. Unable to walk, unable to talk. Forget about anything else. Of course, he matches every description which is given in this. Patitam anudhavanti shatashan. Thousands of research scholars, whether male or female, would be running to interact with Stephen Hawking. Don't you think so? What is operating through her? It is she which operates through that person. And it is operating in buddhi. And such a buddhi is capable of pulling you out. All these is what you call decorative language. This is Nimagnanam Danstram Muraripu Varahasya Bhavati, which is Puranic instances are being brought in, that if a person is drowning deep in waters, like the earth was drowning in the deep ocean to Patala, Rasatala, the darker realms, and then the Varaha avatar comes. And what it does? It lifts the earth itself. Another name for earth is Madhavi. Okay? Another name for earth is Madhavi. How? Because Madhava rescued earth from the darker realms. And that is how earth is also said to be married to Hari. That's only a way to say. You see? We thought that only Lakshmi is the consort of Hari. No. I'll tell you. If you read Devi Bhagavatam, it will be told that Hari was not satisfied with one consort. The consort herself recognizes it and becomes two. And one Shakti is called Radha and another becomes Lakshmi. You see? That is how it is told. You are never satisfied with one in the outer. When you move away from yourself, it's only recognition of the fact that when I move away from myself, I will never be satisfied. Even gods are not satisfied. Okay? So that means being cognizant and aware of your Chit Shakti will bring that intelligence. And with that intelligence, if you operate, you will be capable of attracting everything in the world. Does the Stephen Hawking example fit in here or not? Tell me. Only intelligence continues to work. You are well sought after person in this world. Debilitated body, vegetative state, doesn't matter. Chit Shakti is operating. And the Chit Shakti's first manifestation is Buddhi, intellect. That intellect is operating. Done away. Everything is possible for such a person. Whether he's old, debilitated or not, every siddhi is coming to him directly. He did not arrange for his treatment. He did not arrange for all the gadgets which were supporting him speak. Everything is done by the world, people around him. Is it not as if people are running, chasing, like those maidens, unaware of their clothing and everything, that howsoever, in whatever condition, I must get something from this man. Right or not? So look at that. Now further it moves to the, I am just revising only to give you a understanding of how we have arrived at that. It's not that it is a isolated verse, isolated shloka, that Naram Varshi Yansam Nayanavirasam Narma Sujadam. And now we start thinking Devi will shower upon her grace upon me and I will become youthful again. Youthful, that youthfulness is only her spark that you already have. Its first blossoming has to happen, and that blossoming is called intelligence. Okay? So all the possibilities are there. And of course then we see Twadanya Panibhyam Abhaya Varado Daivata Gana Twameka Naivasi Prakatita Varadhitya Bhinaya Bhayatratum Datum Palamapi Chavancha Samadikam Sharanya Lokanam Tavahi Charana Vevanupuno. Now look at this shloka and you would understand. Your own intelligence is always at help, always helping you, is it not? And it does not ever say that I am there to help you. It does not pose as it is a savior of yours. It is always behind you and gives you more than what you desire. I'll tell you that your intelligence works when you're not actively operating your intelligence. Does it not? I'll give you one example and you'll understand. Suppose you met a person and you forgot to recall his name, and somehow you just managed to interact in a nice way and did not even allow that person to recognize that I don't recall your name. Somehow that goody goody talk happened and the person left, and you still think, what is his name? And you forget it. That episode is gone. 3 days later, the name pops up. What do you think is working? When you are not actively working, even then the Tadanya Panibhyam Abhayvardo Daitatgada is working. See, more than what you can demand, more than what you can desire. You are that intelligence, that Chetana Shakti, which is operating through you, always gives you more than you demand. Look at it. So, your Shakti is with you, and it never says, I am helping you. It never presents it, say thank you to me. It never poses a Abhay Varad Mudra. But it's always there. It's always there. If you personify Buddhi, your intelligence, your Chetana Shakti, as a man or woman or God, he's not telling you, he's not sitting like this that, yeah, I'm giving you kripa, my grace. You're feeling it. Other devatas, and let me tell you, in this loka, in our experience, every person in this world who has helped you will tell you that he is helping you or he has helped you. Without telling you this, he cannot. There are very, very rare instances where a person helps without even showing, even agreeing on face that he will help and still helps. Very rare to find such people. There are, I'm not denying that. But if they are operating like that, they're of course very close to that divine principle. I can tell you, they are divine people who don't even claim and agree in front of you that they are going to help, but they still work and help. Right? Such is Devi. And that is why I say such people are divine people. Why? Because they are operating through that divine principle, which never claims and which never seems to agree. Even when you go with all that thal and all that objects of worship to a temple, have you ever found that idol to nod, yes, okay, I will help you? The idol never nod. But you found that the help has come. So in the same way, the divine never says that I am helping you. It never poses that help is there. Don't worry. But it works. In the same way, your Chetana Shakti, your power of cognizance, your power of intelligence is at your, I'll say, service. Rather, service is a wrong word because service is done by someone who is inferior to, under the field of grace of our intelligence. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Ji Acharya.
Yes, Guruji.
Ji Acharya.
Now, moving forward, we have to look at now there are other shlokas, other verses which will give you more and more understanding of how we should be full of gratitude. That is a feeling. I'll tell you. You see, feeling is a grosser aspect of your tonality of mind. Okay. Emotion or feeling is grosser expression of your mind. The most crisp, most well-defined first manifestation of your Chit Shakti is intelligence, Vichara Shakti. Okay. Vichara becomes a bhavana or emotion only when not one thought, but so many other supporting thoughts, many corollaries gotten added to it, and they revolve in such a circle that becomes a bhavana. So bhavana is a vritti, it's not a vichar. When vichara or the thought moves in circles and supported by many other similar supporting congenial thoughts, ideas, then that becomes emotion. So therefore emotion is a vritti, right? Emotion is a vritti. And when we try to worship or try to find out the source of our intelligence, how do we find whether we are really being governed, or how to reach to the source, which is intelligence itself? Of course, you'll have to move through your bhava. Okay, you'll have to create a right kind of bhava or emotion. Through bhava, it is easy to access that domain from where the intelligence itself operates. Okay, right? And even through bhava, it is possible to transcend your intelligence. That's the power of bhava, right? Although bhava is something which is not abstract, it is supported by many things. It's not abstract. Bhava doesn't come in a lone experience. It doesn't come in the single experience of your own being. Bhava cannot come. Bhava is always supported by some other addendums. When other addendums are available, then only bhava can be created. Bhava is not created in your own thoughts. A thought can never become bhava. A thought has to be supported by many other experiences, which are again available through your senses. When they get in tune with, or they augment your thinking in the same direction, and it revolves at a very high speed, it becomes bhava. Okay? So what does it mean? How to create that bhava? For that, we can of course find answers in Saundarya Lahri, and also we need to go back and look at Shiva Sutras, and you'll recognize where all that has to be taken. Our understanding has to be taken, how we should look at the world. And it is said, Vismayo Yoga Bhumika. Vismaya, the sense of amazement, is that basis as that bhava through which yoga of union, yoga means union, and yoga also means the path through which you travel towards that union. Both are yoga, right? So that yoga is possible, that yoga of your individual limited self with that infinite, eternal, ever blissful self is possible through bhava. Saundarya Lahri is a bhava pradhana grantha. Please recognize it. If you want to benefit directly from Saundarya Lahri without getting into the nitty-gritty of what is it, what is the mantra, what is the yantra in it, even if you don't know, create right kind of bhava which is represented, depicted in each and every, there is a stream of bhava which is moving, taking many various hues in these verses. You follow the bhava and you arrive at that Chaitanya Shakti. Right? You don't need to chant any mantra. Otherwise, why would he write such a description, such a poetic description? It should have a purpose, and the purpose is there. This is a means. This is a way to recognize your Chaitanya Shakti, to find that union of your own being in Chaitanya Shakti. Right? It is a journey moving from that to source. Right? And the first thing, if you look at this Saundarya Lahri, the first thing itself would astonish you. You thought God was all powerful. The first verse itself should amaze you. And Vismayo Yoga Bhumika you should appreciate here. You thought that God was all powerful, but then who gives Shiva that power? Shiva is completely powerless. God is completely powerless. In the first verse itself, Shankracharya declares. Is it not amazing? We thought God is all powerful. Suddenly Shankracharya declares, no, God is not powerful. Forget about him. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta. Is it not an amazing thing? Does it not give you amazement that God is not powerful? Power principle itself is powerful. Through that, God becomes powerful. Now, it's so amazing to look at that God who is powerless, unless that Shakti principle enjoys him. That's the beginning of Saundarya Lahri, from the amazement. Because for all the kids, for the grown-ups, they think that God is powerful. God can do everything. God has all powers in his command. No. Sorry. Shankaracharya says, no. Shankaracharya says, no, you are mistaken. God is not powerful. Your God is powerless unless he is enjoying the Shakti principle. So the same way, Saundarya Lahri is also placing that Vismaya in the first shloka itself. Moving from there, he is now taking onto a journey of bhava, creating that divine emotion in you. He is going to develop upon that. And if you follow the text, follow that spirit of text, follow that emotional hue which this text is trying you to take you through, if you follow that, you have reached. At least you will not remain at that place where you thought you were stagnated, for sure. I'll tell you, fourth shloka itself will give you a push to move forward. Why? Because you thought God is not giving me enough. You always have complaints. You know? मैंने ₹1.25 का प्रसाद चढ़ाया, मैंने ₹51 की मान्यता मानी, मैंने 1,01,000 का जमा किया, मैंने गुप्त दान किया. God is not giving me enough. But when you recognize this, the God is giving you more than enough. Also, amazement again. God is continuously giving you more than I desire. Yes. And once you recognize it, what will be your bhava? Your bhava would be of thankfulness. Your bhava will be of gratitude. Your bhava will be of joy. Your bhava will be of contentment. And if you move to that bhava, fourth shloka will give you a quantum jump. And there also we fail. We thought, okay, God has not given me enough, so I will chant fourth shloka so that I get more. Come on. Understand the spirit in which this beautiful text has been set in. That setting is to invoke the right kind of emotion in you. And emotions means right kind of thoughts augmented by your certain experiences of life, your inner experiences, your outer experiences, moving as a vritti so strong that it is able to pierce through your intellect also to take you there at the doorsteps of Mother's palace. This is what it is aiming at. And it says even once you have reached there, a mother has looked at you like this also, you are now a deity in yourself. Now people run towards you. Accomplishments run after you. Okay? Makes sense? And then he says the nature of that Shakti, Mahi Mooladhare, Kamapi Manipure, Hutavaham, etc., etc. Then he talks about the descent. Right? And then ascent and descent, both are discussed. And after that he's saying that what has happened? He has said, Chaturbhe Shri Kanthai. All that has already, that journey has been. The very concise and very precise and very quick succession, he is talking of your elevation of consciousness, and therefore it becomes difficult for us to appreciate where we are going. Another shloka, we think, abhi पिछले वाले से तो उसका कोई connection ही नहीं है. Why? Because you have not moved. Why you have not moved? Because you have not moved in right kind of bhava. And therefore, अभी क्या होगा? अच्छा ठीक है. अभी now this shloka, okay, Naram Varsiya Samha, I think I have become old. Oh, no more young ladies look at me. Okay, so what I'll do 14th shloka. Of course, the 14th shloka, 13th shloka is, if you look at that usage of that shloka, of course it is. It will say to attract. I'll do 14th shloka. So what will happen? Now I'll feel youthful again. And ladies or say whatever, I'll not say ladies. If ladies are running after ladies, then there is a problem. So of course, when ladies will do, they will imagine that the men are running after. So they will think, no, 13th shloka I'll do, and then all this running episode will happen. Come on. Right kind of bhava would have given you a better understanding of this 13th shloka. 13th shloka is saying, and when the background, all the water has flown, right from Shiva Shakti Yukto to Chaturbhi Shri Kanthai. And then it is being taught, not like that. अभी 13th पढ़ा दो किसी को तो वो यही कहेगा कि शंकराचार्य ने तो कमाल ही कर दिया है. 13th श्लोक पढ़ो और सारी दुनिया के लड़के लड़कियां जैसा डिजायर है, डिमांड है, वैसे होगा हमारे साथ. ऐसा नहीं है. इसलिए इसको लिटरल सेंस में मत लो, ऑल्दो ले भी सकते हो क्योंकि ये भी होता है। पॉइंट ये है, ये तो प्रॉब्लम है इसकी, जिस लेवल पर इसको ले लो वही होता है। लेकिन अगर आप इसमें एंगेज हो जाते हो, यू गेट एंगेज्ड इन ऑल दिस, देन यू आर लॉस्ट, राइट? द जर्नी इज नो मोर टुवर्ड्स योर चित शक्ति, it's only in Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Okay. Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, where Sukha and Dukha is the outcome. It's not towards Ananda Shakti. All right. So, context we should always remember. Then only you would be able to appreciate what Shankaracharya is saying here. Shankaracharya wants you to now recognize, appreciate all the facts of life and recognize that till the time that Shakti is operating through me in its full glory, and I showed you what it is, even if its first manifestation operates through me in its full glory, in its full luminosity, I will be sought after by the world. I'll be sought after by the world. Yes or no? The corporate world today, most of people complain. There are no jobs for the people who have attained 40, 50 years of age. There are no jobs left. Yes? No jobs left. Nobody wants to keep old people. Ask Rajiv, he will tell you. Sought after man. Devi's grace. He sought after at 55. He sought after at 56. After 50, he's getting the best of the opportunities. How? The intelligence, that Chit Shakti, that intelligence is operating through him. And he's getting all that. You may complain, हमारा 50 हो गया, अभी तो कुछ मिलेगा नहीं. But he never complains. He says, कब मैं इससे free होऊंगा? Although he doesn't think it that way. He thinks अभी कुछ और कर लेते. He's running like a horse. He may continue to run. I don't know how long, but so far he's running. And he finds avenues to run. He finds race courses to run. He finds jockeys who sit over him to drive all that. But he's running. He never says, I have fallen short of race course. He never says, there are no races arranged for me. Races are available. But what I'm saying here, it's only for the intelligent people. If you're intelligent, you can't say, I've fallen in that category now. Old people, they don't perform and therefore they will not get job. We don't employ. Come on. If your intelligence is operating and it's shining in its full glory, even if you become 80, people will run to take you. On board, आ जाओ भाई, किसी तरह से ले लो साथ. बोलो भाई, बताओ. क्या ये नहीं है exactly इसी चीज का description? Is it not the same description which Shankaracharya is talking about? Shankaracharya says, Naram Varshiyansam Nayanavirasam Narmasujadam. Then he starts all that. Tavapanga loke patitam anudhavanti shatasha. Galad vedi bandha kuch kalasha vistrasta se chaya. Hathat trutyat kancho vigalit dukula yuvataya. Now the world is running after such a man. Yes, it will. But not that you become enticed by all that and you become engaged so much in this. Recognize why it is happening. Recognize her gaze upon you, that I have my intelligence, the faculty of intelligence working, shining for. Whose grace? By whose grace you are intelligent? No, I was born intelligent. Come on. Even if you are born intelligent, it is her grace. Because people are born idiot also. So do you recognize whose grace? If you recognize that source, then you will always be full of gratitude. You will never take ego, or you'll never go on the ego trip. I have achieved so much, I have done this much, I have itna company set kar diya hai, itne sale बढ़ा दी, इतनी discoveries कर दी, है ना, इतनी company को debt से बाहर निकाल दिया. Who has given you that power? What have you done to become the owner of the intelligence you all are carrying? They're all intelligent people. What have you done? And what wrong those people have done, those who are born idiots, born stupids, what we call them. Although that name is not taken now. They say specially abled child. Who are they? Especially abled children. Who are they? On whose grace? So whatever we have gotten is a blessing. Look, people say, I lost my only child and I'm devastated. Acha ji. So you are devastated because you lost your only child. Okay, suppose there was a option given to you. What do you want? Would you surrender your life for that? You'll say, "Arey, what will happen to my child if I go?" That is also not right. Okay. And tell me, a child who has passed, a child who has gone while his parents are alive, is probably the best child. Ask those who have lost their fathers and mothers, and have you not suffered? You must have suffered. Okay? And look at it. In the young age, if a child loses parents instead of losing his own life, what will happen to him? Think about it. Will his life not be too much of a struggle? Will a parent would like to leave the child behind? Is it possible that parents say, no, my life would have gone and I would have accepted? Come on, then you're inviting more and more problems for that child who is still growing. So I'm giving only a perspective. It does not mean that that's the only truth. You can look at the same thing from different angles. And the angle you should look at is which should comfort you, which should tell you that there is still some grace left. Right? Yes or no? As an able, capable parent, as a capable person, you have all the capacity to go and pick up a child who needs your help. You can support. But think about that child who is rendered fatherless, motherless at that age. What will happen? All that is grace. So we always feel we are devastated. God is unfair to us. God has never been unfair to us. Only we need to look at that. That in every opportunity, there is a positive thing. Only that we need to look at that. And otherwise, we will always be complaint box. We will remain as a complaint boxes only. Whatever happens, we'll have complaint. God has been unfair to us. And we'll forget that Tadanya Panibhyam Abhayvardo Daivatkara. But God gives you more than we want for us. Yes, God gives us more than what we want for us. It does. Many of people who have inclined their journey from the pure materialistic way of life to self-discovery, to spiritual, they are people who have suffered in life. Some losses, some sufferings there. If you don't, then there is no chance. There is no chance. How do you utilize that? And then we say, and this should not have happened. I would say you should not have been born. Why? Why are you born? You never complained that. Have you ever complained that? When you don't complain about it, how can you complain if somebody is gone? Because being born and going from here is not in your control. Yes or no? So we can always look at any scenario and say that God is not doing, the goddess is unfair to us. This is the way of the world. Anything we create in this world should be looked at in the same light which Saundarya Lahri has defined. And you remember What second, even the first shloka itself says, you see, in the first shloka itself it is said that, tani yansam pansam, you may create anything, but always remember it's not permanent. Your whole problem is that you think it is permanent, and then you say there are rules, and the rules are like one should not go in young age. While the history and the humanity is full of examples, people living in the youngest of age, even unborn children are dead. There is no such rule. But you have created a convenient rule for yourself that no, if a child is born, for 100 years he has to live. Is there a rule? Is this a rule? No. Then why are you expecting the same rule? Look at it. So we think conveniently. We want to live our life in convenience, and only by staying blind to the reality we can expect such things. Only unintelligent activity in this world can live like that. Then we can say we are suffering. Right? Miseries come, but you refuse to be miserable. And how can you refuse to be miserable? Only by looking at the world as it is. Not by living in the cocoon of your imaginary worlds, of ideals, of the rules which are followed. There are no rules in this world. There's only one rule. And that one rule is nothing is permanent. Always remember that. You will never suffer. Suffering will come. Suffering will come. Miseries will come. But you will not be miserable. Only by recognizing that nothing is permanent. Who will teach you this? Nobody. You will have to recognize it. Nobody can teach you, because this is the biggest miracle of this. To say most miraculous thing, most surprising thing in this world. And this was Yaksha Prashna. What we say? Yudhishthir had lost all his 4 brothers, and he was the only remaining there. And this Yaksha asked certain question. He says, these your brothers did not answer to my questions, and therefore they are dead. You answer my question, and then I will give you boon of even using this water which I guard, and also your brothers will be revived. He asked that. Yaksha asked this question. He said, what is the biggest surprise? He said, the biggest surprise is we see people dying every day, but we will never be able to imagine that we will die someday. The biggest surprise. In the same way, this is now extended. We see other people, sons, fathers, siblings dying at a wrong age, but we never think that that can happen to us. Are you blind? The same kind of blindness can create suffering. If that blindness goes, you'll accept it. Yes, okay, it happened. It happens, and therefore it happened. Nothing so unusual about it. But only when the only and final lesson should always be remembered. The first and final. Nothing in this world is permanent. That is how Shakti operates. That is how you operate. That is what is your cycle itself. By the way, all of you who have been born will definitely be dying someday. That day when there is no such rule that you will die after completing 100 years or die after marrying off your daughters and sons, nothing like that. And then forget about it. Now extend this logic. Whether you will be able to marry off your sons and daughters, if they remain, they are also not permanent. The same rule applies there also. If we live with this understanding, who can make us miserable? Tell me. Who can make us miserable? We have anticipated everything because we have seen life in its true nature, not posing our imaginations that this hunky-dory life will continue. Right? Please. So let us always recognize that we need to live in right kind of bhava, and that bhava is of devotion, that bhava is of gratitude. And the fourth shloka itself gave you that opportunity to live in that sense of gratitude, that mother gives more than what we deserve. She is giving us more than what we deserve. There is no reason for us to become miserable. And I'll tell you one more thing. You say, first thing to come out of misery is to achieve mental peace. And mental peace means accepting things as they are. Then you will move to next pedestal, where you can start becoming cheerful. Okay? You can't directly become cheerful. First, you'll have to come in terms with the reality. And once you stabilize in that, then automatic eruption, automatic blossoming of that peace is the expression of joy in your life. So all of you, please try that. Come in terms with the reality. Okay? So that peace prevails. Nobody is able to take away your peace of mind and make it pieces of mind. And somebody takes your one piece of mind and makes it pieces of mind. An incident does it, person does it, situations do it, and all that. So don't allow your one piece of mind to become pieces of mind. For that, respect what it is and accept what it is. Acceptance, I will talk about later, what acceptance means. Acceptance does not mean like, laid back attitude, accept everything. I'll talk about it later. But for now, of course, you have to accept what it is. Accept means accept the truth, the facts. What next if something happens? You must engage in some actions. That is another thing. Accepting does not mean not doing anything. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But for now, I had to say this much only on this shloka. And I hope you all understood what it means by this particular shloka. Let us now read it once more and then we'll pray.
Naram varshiyamsam nayanavirasam naramasujaram tavapangaloke patitamανudhavanti shatashah Galatveni bandha kuchakalashavistrastasijaya hatatruthyat kanchyo vigalita dukulayuvatayah.
So let us pray and then we'll leave. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shivoham.